Good morning. My name is Ron Morris. This is Moving Forward TV. We have a special guest with us today, which I'll introduce in just a moment.
And I am Dylan Gasson. Welcome to this week's episode. At the end of the show, our normal movie challenge, music challenge, we are actually stepping it up a bit. So you have to stay tuned till the end of the show. We have 50 good reasons why you should.
We have Jason Butts with us today of Commonwealth Insurance of the Bay Area. I've known Jason for several years. Actually, we've done some business together for a number of years. He's an independent agent in the Palm Harbor area, and you've had your business for around 9 years.
Yeah, correct. Started about 9 years ago. Have a staff of 17 people and really focus and concentrate on personal lines, home, auto, stuff that everybody needs.
Excellent. We figured what we would do, Jason, today is we wanted to ask Jason some of the questions that we hear all the time, and I'm sure you guys get all the time too, so he can maybe shed some light on all of this for all of us. First
and
one,
foremost.
starting right away, question number one that we hear all the time, we are in Florida, flood. Flood insurance.
Flood coverage. I hear
Yes.
all the time, my house is not in a flood zone, I don't need flood insurance. Wrong. Pretty much every house in the state of Florida is in some type of flood zone. Some tend to obviously flood, maybe more than others, but flood insurance is very inexpensive, especially for people who are not in a designated flood zone that's required by their lender to carry flood insurance. So for about $365 a year, you can have $250,000 coverage on your house with about $100,000 in contents, and that's for people who are in a B, C, or X zone, or also known as preferred flood zones. People who are in A zones or V zones, maybe a higher propensity for flood, are obviously going to pay much more, but again, it's going to vary per house, when it was built, and the location of the home.
And I think that's something very important to keep in mind if you're not in a flood zone per se. For $360 a year, what a peace of mind that is.
Yeah, I tell people all the time they should carry it anyway.
The other thing about flood is because it's through the federal government, the rates are the same no matter where you go. So regardless of your agent, it's not something that you really need to shop around to try to find a better premium. It is the same premium with any carrier.
Okay. Okay, the second question we have, Jason, I know Dylan and I get this question constantly, sinkhole coverage. What's the deal with sinkhole coverage? It's in the media a lot lately. Update us, please. Let us know what's going on with that.
Sinkhole has become the phenomenon in Florida right now, and you know, that's the question that everybody wants to know. Do I need sinkhole coverage? Is it available? How much is it going to cost?
Right.
And what is the difference between sinkhole coverage and catastrophic ground coverage collapse, which is included in most basic policies in the state of Florida?
Which I didn't know there was a difference.
Correct.
Likewise.
It's something that has just changed recently in the law in about the last year and a half or so. And there's currently legislation that may be looking to change it even more. We'll know in the next couple of weeks how that pans out. But sinkhole coverage right now, for the most part, is not required from what we see by most of the lenders. Now, there are some out there that are requiring sinkhole coverage, but as of right now, most are not.
Right.
The difference can be substantial depending on where you live. For example, Pasco, Hernando counties, Hillsborough, even in some areas that have been impacted by sinkhole claims, you can see a rate difference of a policy with catastrophic ground coverage collapse of around $800 or $900 a year, whereas if you want sinkhole coverage, you may be looking at $3,000 a year. So a tremendous difference in premium. And when it comes to the closing time, what someone is paying for insurance really does make a difference in terms of if they're going to be able to qualify for that house or not that you guys see.
Sure, because we're talking like, you know, $80 a month for insurance versus $200 a month impacts their qualifying substantially.
I most of the time recommend to my clients to discuss with their mortgage person who they need, you know, if they need to have that coverage or not. And if they do not, we educate them in terms of the difference between sinkhole coverage and catastrophic ground coverage collapse and find out what they feel comfortable with. And from there, leave it to the client to decide what coverage they would like.
Right.
And I imagine a lot of that's going to pertain to where they live.
Correct.
In some areas, you might strongly advise them to take that coverage, where other areas it's less of a risk.
Right.
Would that be fair?
In some cases, in some areas, to have the sinkhole coverage is very, very little in premium. And so it really makes sense to go ahead and make sure that you have that coverage.
Oh, and that's good that you can run it both ways for them so that they can make an educated decision. That's nice.
Absolutely.
Okay, question number 3, Jason, we get all the time. People are asking, why do they have to insure their home for more than what they're even paying for the house?
This is probably our most common question, too. And I imagine yours
Didn't used to be that way a few years ago.
We get this all the time. We all know the market is extremely depressed right now. Home prices have plummeted. especially in the state of Florida.
Right.
And what we are seeing is the insurance company feels a responsibility to insure a home for what they feel it would cost to rebuild a home in the event of a catastrophic situation.
Right.
We know that if an individual house in a neighborhood happened to burn down, that the home a lot of times could be rebuilt for less than what the person is insured for. We all know that builders right now and subcontractors are looking for work and prices have
Little
dropped.
slow right now.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So what the insurance company says is if we get hit with that major storm in Florida and it comes through and 30, 40, 50,000 people in the state of Florida need to have their home rebuilt or fixed, what are building prices going to do? We all know that building
yes,
prices will then
yes.
come up.
Of course.
The insurance
Lumber
company
goes
also,
up, everything goes
your
up.
materials, building
Right.
costs, everything. We also know that the costs associated with rebuilding a home are also more than just the building materials, the construction supplies, and the laborers. They also are looking at the architect fees as well as debris removal, which is something that a lot of people
Oh.
don't realize. So in the event that a house is destroyed, the debris removal needs to have money there as well from
So
the
all of
insurance
that
company.
is encompassed into these new
Exactly right.
figures. Well, that makes a lot of sense. It's extra protection. It's wonderful. That makes a lot of sense now.
Okay, our last and fourth question is, what is the benefit for the consumer to use an independent agent?
Independent agents have access to multiple carriers. Unlike a captive agency who typically only has access to maybe a single market or two markets, we're able to really look at the market, shop somebody's home or auto or flood or whatever it is to make sure that they're getting the best rate on the market with the best company for the best coverage. And I just really think that it's a great opportunity to make sure that you are not paying more than you should be for your insurance.
right.
If you'd like to find out more about my insurance agency, please visit us at www.commonwealthins.com. The banner should be located
Should
on
be
the bottom of the
straight down
screen.
below, absolutely.
And would love to talk to you and see if we can help you or provide a quote for your client.
That's our show for this week. Thanks so much to Jason for being here with us.
He did a
is
great job.
A wealth of information.
Exactly.
We do appreciate him and hope you learned something. We certainly did. Please visit his website. Like I said, he's very accessible by phone, by email, always answering our questions. So
Right.
please visit his website. Visit the rest of our sponsors as well. And now on to our music challenge for this week.
Last week, we did our first music challenge last week, and that's properly guessing the name of the artist of the song that's playing at the end.
Yes.
Last week, Pablo Rivera with Charles Rutenberg Realty properly guessed
Congratulations.
the Carlos Santana was the name of the artist. So in just a moment, we'll play the next one, and again, guess the artist of the music at the end. First one to email us that correct answer. And what are they getting this week?
This week we have stepped it up a notch. Actually,
Jason has stepped it up a
has
notch.
stepped it up a notch. He has put up $50 gift card to a restaurant of your choice. The first one to email us the artist of this
right.
song at the end of the show.
And in the meantime, blog us down below, see our sponsors. We have
Yes.
tabs, things
Everywhere.
around somewhere.
Please leave a comment and forward this on your social networking sites as well. It's on ours. Put it out on yours. If you like this show, please share it. Thanks so much for being with us. We are.
Moving forward, see everybody next week.
Bye-bye.
Well, he's actually gone. Will we ever forget him?
Who?
You know, what's his name? Yeah,